So today we're going to be simulating WICSO in Age of History 3. Now WICSO is of course the What If Civilization Started Over series. It is at this point a 65 plus episode mapping series where we look at an alternate world, one where civilization was completely wiped out and was forced to start again from Mesopotamia. This particular map is from like episode 40 something of the series, right before World War III broke out. So we have big names such as the Old Empire, we have Russia back, we also have countries like China, we have countries like India, and so many more. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. All the support is greatly appreciated as we're trying to get to 200,000 subscribers by the end of this summer. And let's go ahead and jump straight into today's scenario. Now this map took me forever to make. I'm not gonna lie, I sat here all day for hours upon hours just making this WICSO map, but I have finally completed it and I am super happy with how it's all come out. Now of course the borders are not going to be perfect. That's because the game Age of History 3 is of course based off of real life borders and provinces. So obviously the WICSO provinces, which are completely made up, are not going to be here, but I still felt like I did a pretty good job. And yes, there are alliances in this scenario. So the Old Empire is aligned with Sudan, the Farmers Union, Iberia, Norway, and of course America, just like how they were in the series pre-World War III. And speaking of pre-World War III, I do believe that this map is from the episode before World War III. So Russia has all their allies, China has all their allies. I think we might be able to see a repeat of World War III in this video. But of course, in order to do that, we have to hit the start button up here in the top right, and let's begin. So this is 1990, which is when World War III started. And yeah, we're just basically going to be looking out for any wars, any major events that take place. Currently, there are no wars in the world, so I'll get back to you guys when there is one. All right, here we go. We have two wars happening in the world. It looks like that the sea foam green country is getting jumped, or maybe not. It looks like Korea has aligned itself with Tibet, who is aligned with China. Interestingly, what is happening right here? But like I was saying, Tibet is aligned with China, and in the series, China and Korea aren't too friendly, so is that India? Okay, so China and India are in an alliance together. Has the Old Empire done any kind of weird alliances? This is huge. I mean, India and China, that's scary. Also, the power rankings in this game are very interesting to say the least. Now, I have no control over who the top 10 countries are, but they do have the Old Empire at 1, which is true to the series. Russia at 2, also true to the series. But they have Rome at 3, which is really confusing because I'm not sure how this is stronger than this, which is China, or how Rome is stronger than India, or even America. And then the Dutch is at number 4, which that does make sense. You know, they've always been around that area. United States at 5, aka America. Then we have Russia's puppet state at 6. Yes, we do have puppet states. China is at 7, Brazil at 8, Mexico at 9, and India at 10, Vietnam at 11, and Venezuela at 12. Interesting. Also Sierra Leone, which is the orange country in Africa, is at number 13. So it looks like the Cross Alliance, which is Russia's alliance with all these nations, is pretty strong. Anyway, back to this war over here between Korea and the sea. Oh, well, it doesn't look to be going so good for Korea. This is the sea foam green country invading, and oh wait, they're at war with Japan too. Okay, so they just won that war against Korea somehow. I'm not too sure how that happened, but they've taken land. And I guess the sea foam green country is going imperial. Also, there's 7 wars in the world. All right, who is killing who? Oh, this is, oh no. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. There are a lot of wars. Okay, so it looks like Ireland is in an alliance with both Scotland and the brown team, and together they're all jumping the central English country. Okay, okay. Apparently everybody wants a piece out of the Hudson country, or the Canadian country up here. I'm not sure what bro did, but everyone is invading him. And they're also at war with like half the countries in North America and aligned with Greenland, and they have a defensive pact with New York, who is defending them. So I see we have ourselves a North American kind of battle royale over here. Texas for some reason is in on it, but it looks like the main focus of this war is on this green country here, and then they have some supporting cast like in New York and Greenland. And then all of Oceania is red. Lovely. So it looks like Red Australia and Green Australia are in an alliance fighting the other 2 Australias. And then for some reason, Sumatra and Borneo are fighting each other. And the red team is in on that war for some reason. They're at war with Sumatra. Hey, I'm not going to judge. Let's actually see what happens over here in North America, because this is, well, I don't know how consequential this will actually be. So this is good for the gold team. They get access to the Hudson Bay. The green team probably won't last too much longer. But we have America at war now, so let's see what that's about. So they're at war. Okay, America's at war with Norway, which is not a good sign. Norway's at war with Oh no. They're fighting the old empire, and they're fighting Iberia, and they're fighting America, which means Norway might have just betrayed the square team, which is the old empire's alliance. It looks like they're allied with France. Why would Norway do that? They were literally allied with the strongest country in the world, and they chose to ally with France. Not a good decision, I don't think. Yeah, no, wait. Okay, no, I thought that was France that just won that. No, it's Iberia. So France is now just a, well, it's just Brittany now. And they retained their alliance with Norway. Actually, it looks like that the Dark Cyan team was in on that war as well. And Cornwall. Okay, so Norway has formed itself kind of like a new alliance to counter the old empire. So it looks like the square team kind of split and then Norway took lead, which means that there's a schism. Also, what is this? Why is Germany here? What? Oh, North Germany attacks South Germany, and it's still the puppet of Russia, so I guess Russia didn't really care. Oh, what did Argentina do? So they are in an alliance with Southern Argentina and a bunch of other countries. Also, just want to say real quick, Age of History 3, in the editor and like scenario creation center, a country can only have one ally. So I have a mod that allows countries to have an unlimited amount of allies, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but it did allow me to do the individual alliances that are actually in the series. So I figured that it would be better, even though we have things like this happening where Argentina is at war with half the continent and it has 3 allies. Another thing about Age of History 3 is that sometimes it's kind of hard to follow exactly what is happening, but that war is over now. It was a very quick one, let's just say that. And Caribbean is invading into Venezuela. All right. Wait, is the old empire at war with somebody? Oh God. Oh, guys, it's happening. Guys, we have World War III here. But actually, is it World War III? Because the old empire is at war with the cross team, but Russia isn't at war with the square team. They do have a non-aggression pact with the Farmers Union, which I don't think that actually nullifies a old empire call to war. So what this probably is a war between Russia, or maybe one of Russia's allies, and one of the puppet states of the old empire, which I think I'm actually right. Yeah, this puppet state is getting invaded by Central Asia, which means that it indeed maybe just got liberated. It looks like the old empire still controls it, so that's confusing. But World War III averted? Question mark? I'm not too sure. Bangladesh is here. I'm not sure who invited them to the party, but the actual Bangladesh in the series is long gone. They are completely divided up right now. And the old empire is at war with China. Yeah, they are not wasting any time going on the lore accurate speed run. They are just fighting all of their ops from World War III, and it doesn't really look like anything came from that treaty, but Tajikistan and this guy are fighting, which means that they might get China involved. No, just one-on-one. Okay. India joining China's alliance certainly wasn't on my like bingo card at all. I didn't think that something as like world-changing would happen. Speaking of world-changing, African Union has annexed Libya. That probably might have happened in the series at one point. And what is happening right here? That's disgusting. Actually, no, the gold team lost a war. That's what that means. That's fun. So the gold team is getting proper punishment in this timeline rather than the real timeline. But yeah, I'm gonna hit play again and we're gonna see what, oh, okay, purple team just invaded into the Polish country, which is actually technically the Czech country. I always call it the Polish country. It's not really. I think what our main objective is just monitoring the big 3 and then occasionally checking in on America, or I should say the Americas. And this game isn't really like Age of History 2 where you can see the front line expanding. It's more so like you have to zoom in. It's kind of like Hoi 4. You have to really get in there and see what's happening in each of these countries, which, by the way, 8 wars happening right now. We have another South American war. Why is South America so violent in these games? Like, I get it, you know, nothing really happens in South America in real life, but I don't think this is too realistic, to be fair. This might be a little bit overboard. But Venezuela looks like it's getting jumped by Brazil, who is at war with them, and Peru and Argentina, who is at war with everybody again. It does look like Brazil's gonna manage this. I don't think Peru or Venezuela are gonna be able to fight back in time unless Argentina is able to send enforcements, but they're at war with everyone, like I said, so that's unlikely. Literally everybody on the continent is at war right now, I think. Like, I don't think there's a single country. Oh, Ecuador isn't. But everyone else is just stabbing each other, shooting each other. Oh, these guys are chilling too. But yeah, violence, a lot of violence. And something's happening in Europe. Usually not a good sign when Russia's at war, but it doesn't look like they're at war with anyone relevant, unless you're counting the remainder of the blue team as relevant, and, well, Catalonia. That makes sense. That's a pretty Russian thing to do, you know, sweeping up all of Eastern. Okay, this is definitely something right here. Iberia's attacking the remainder of the Cyan team, and the remainder of France, which means they're also at war with Norway. But the Old Empire isn't involved this time, so this is just Iberia doing its own thing, and they're getting their, let's just say that they're losing, to say the least. Now, I wonder how hard they're going to go on Iberia, because, I mean, they're a member of the Old Empire's alliance, so you would think that you wouldn't want to take too much land from them, because then you get the Old Empire mad at you, and it's the Old Empire. So let's see what they do in their peace treaty if they ever finish fighting this war. Okay, well, that's not bad at all. They really didn't lose any land. I mean, they still have pretty much all of their core. Actually, no, they do have all their core territory. I think the Dark Scion team took land up here, which is horrible. I don't know why they would do that. That's terrible. But yeah, no major escalation came out of that, which is good, I suppose. I think the North Americans are fighting. Yes, they are. Alaska's invading into central Canada, who is at war with Quebec as well, or Newfoundland as well, who's at war with everybody. Just a friendly old Canadian dispute. Don't worry, it'll be settled soon. Friendly disputes. Oh, I was gonna say friendly disputes are not a thing that is common down here, but Brazil is getting invaded by this orange country here, which is funny. I do believe that Brazil has annexed them in the actual WICSO series, because this map, like I said earlier, is a little bit older than what the current episode is on. We're also in 2020, which is way ahead of the current WICSO timeline. But yeah, Brazil looks like they sent all of their forces into Venezuela, and then they got invaded from behind by the orange team, which means that when I do that in my actual videos, I'm not full of crap. See, the game says so. The game says that this kind of thing happens. Oh, America and New York are at war. Doesn't really look like too much is happening. Okay, America's Navy just folded New York's. The brown team's at war. Let's check in on that. Who are they at war with? They're at war with Hawaii? Why is the Dutch Empire attacking Hawaii? Literally, Hawaii is the most neutral, most nothing happening, most empty nation in WICSO, and here they are getting spotlighted. You know what? Congratulations. Good job, Hawaii. Anyway, I'm invested into this America versus New York war because I have a feeling that there's going to be some other countries involved, and I would be correct in saying that. Looks like we have America also at war with Nova Scotia. But interestingly enough, America has an alliance with Texas. That's not very realistic at all. That's okay though. And then they have a defensive pact with California. I could see that happening. So Texas is helping them out in this war, which means that New York probably is going to get folded. But yeah, this is actually really cool because America just annexed Delmarva, an actual WICSO. So them invading it here and probably annexing it, that is thumbs up by me. Lore accurate. And here comes the full-on invasion. They're going in through Ontario. This is Texas doing this. But yeah, it doesn't look like New York is gonna win this war at all. They have 0 troops. My bad. Nope, they have 1 and 4 allied troops. These 2, wait, what? I think the troop just did mitosis because there's 2 of them now. But there's a bunch of American dudes running around their country with, as it appears, bow and arrows. Oh, okay, and there we go. So the war is over. America actually, for some reason, did not annex Delmarva. Instead, they just took over Pennsylvania, and they made New York into their puppet state. Interesting. I don't think that's very realistic for this game, because I feel like America would just annex New York in this case, but I guess not. Anyway, let's jump back on over to the more interesting stuff. In Africa, it appears that the red team, who is like kind of the Congo, is going on a little bit of a rampage. Now, fun fact, this was the last country that I finished off on the map. They were the last country that I filled in, and I guess they are also incredibly buffed for some reason. Honestly, because of the fact that all of the borders aren't exactly correct as they are in WICSO, I'm having a hard time seeing like any major changes. Now, I know this isn't right. Afghanistan used to be a lot bigger, and I think the Old Empire's puppet invaded you actually, which is really interesting. Major war-wise, not much happening here. You have your good old South American bloodbath, but also looks like the Dutch are still at war with the Hawaiians. I'm not too sure if they're even doing anything. I don't think Hawaii even has troops. How is India only the 9th strongest country in the world? This is pretty much the British Raj in a modern day setting. I don't think that's too accurate. Also, Seafoam Green and Japan, the good old allies, are at war once again with Korea. This time Korea doesn't look like they're getting any help from, oh nope, never mind, Tibet is helping them. So let's see if the Seafoam Green country can actually win a war against Korea for a second time. So far, not so good. Looks like Japan is getting invaded, which makes me think that this is actually a war between Japan and Korea, and then their allies got involved, so the Seafoam Green is involved. But the main point is that Japan has no troops and they're gonna lose, so we can go look somewhere else. And I think I know where I want to go. Russia is at war. Now the question is, who are they at war with? Australia. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure if Australia and Russia have ever been used in the same sentence in the WICSO series, yet here we are. Yeah, okay, Africa is doing something. This great country is getting jumped by its neighbors. Oh, okay. Wait, did the cross team break up? Oh my god, it did. So the cross alliance is actually no more. Russia now only has one ally, and it's the Farmers Union. Wait, what happened to... Okay. The old empire also only has one ally now, and it's the Iberians, which, that's okay, that makes sense. What's Rome up to? They're in an alliance with the African Union. Oh, wow. Top 5 things that would never happen in real life. Not only did Rome versus Carthage make this impossible, but Rome versus Carthage in the WICSO series made this impossible, and I guess they've put that aside. So South America is still going under... Oh my god. Okay, so Venezuela gets folded by Brazil even in this game. That's fun. But South America is still undergoing some kind of radical transformation into blood and death. The continent of war never rests, apparently. And now we're at a pretty quiet part. There's only 3 wars in the world. Russia is still at war with Australia for some reason. But America is at war with the Caribbean, and I do believe the Caribbean, yep, they are in an alliance with this Chilean country. I don't think that's going to be... Oh, never mind. Okay, I was going to say, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, but it might be because America... Okay, they do have Texas on their side, as well as New York, but they are getting invaded in Florida. There's 30 Cuban divisions up here. Looks like they're getting intercepted by some Americans, and reinforcements to let the Americans win. However, there's still an issue. Florida is becoming very Cuban, for now at least. Looks like America is going to take back Florida. Oh, okay, hold on now. Now, when I see this, the first thought that comes to my mind is that the old empire and Russia are at war. Are they at war? I don't think so. Yeah, they're not. In fact, it looks like the old empire is helping Russia fight off Western Australia. What did Western Australia do? They're at war with everybody. So what did they do to get themselves in a situation as to where they're at war with 2 countries who do not have good relations with each other at all? The actual war is Russia versus Papua New Guinea. And then there's a war between Papua New Guinea and the old empire as well. So Papua New Guinea, what have you been doing over here? What did you do? What kind of unthinkable Geneva Convention breaking, horrifying, anti-human activities are taking place in Papua New Guinea? All right, so America is now reversing course on the Caribbean. They're still holding out apparently in Daytona Beach, but America is now island hopping in the Caribbean. Very familiar activities here by America. We got a fun little war happening here in Africa. We have some alternating sides, but the South Angolans look like they are invading up into the Northern Angolans, and they have the help of the Gabonians? What are people from Gabon called? And then they're also fighting off the Cameroonians. Same question goes for the Cameroonians, I guess, or did I just say Cameroonians? I'm sorry, it's 3:30 in the morning. Like I said, I've been working on this map scenario all day. And the good news is that if we ever want to do something with the WICSO map in Age of History 3 ever again, we can, because I made a scenario out of it. That also includes playing as countries. We could play as countries like the old empire. We could play as countries like Russia. Or if we really hate ourselves, we can play as countries like Catalonia or Afghanistan. And if you really like to see me suffer, we can play countries like Fiji, the Solomon Islands. The list goes on, but that brings me to my next point. Go check out the streaming channel. The streaming channel has been up for a couple years now, but I don't really tell people about it too often. I plan on starting up streaming over there once again as soon as we get into the month of June. So make sure to go check it out, link in the description, I believe. But if not, the channel name is AdizzPro. Very easy to find. It's on the channel page. Check it out because we will be streaming over there pretty soon. Okay, and now we have something interesting happening, finally. That's right, guys. We have the invasion of Bangladesh by India and China. This will be a war for the ages. China is getting invaded by Bangladesh. I'm not too sure what's happening right now. This is, unprecedented. There seems to be like a lack of troop supply across the world, which I don't really understand why there would be, because everyone has equal opportunity to get troops. They're not even like trying to invade Bangladesh. They're just straight up going into China and fighting back. I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. I would probably just take out Bangladesh, especially India. Okay, there you go. Now I did just see something in the corner of my eye at the map in the bottom left corner, and if my eyes were not deceiving me, then yes, this is definitely changed up here. I believe that the Hudson country has gone ahead and made Alaska into a puppet. Yep. Which this is an interesting developing storyline here with the central Canadian country. These guys are extremely weak in the actual WICSO series, but in this game, they are ranked at number 23. They, of course, now have themselves a puppet in Cascadia/Alaska, and they're also aligned with California and Texas. I was about to say that California took over Texas, but it just looks like that California and Texas are in an alliance, and Texas is in an alliance with everybody, it appears. I think there might be some kind of big coalition happening soon. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, so they still haven't taken out Bangladesh. Okay, I guess it's about to happen here. But there we go. Bangladesh is gone, and I do believe that ends the war. It looks like they got made into a puppet. Yep, by China. Alrighty. And South America's back to doing what it does best. Seriously, why is South America so violent? I mean, it's always like the whole continent at war. Did anything ever happen to Papua New Guinea? Wait. That's the old empire. Okay, so the old empire is now going colonial. That's great. Why do they have military access in Kazakhstan? They don't even border Kazakhstan, and they're not at war with anybody that borders Kazakhstan. And they don't even like Kazakhstan. Negative 49 opinion. Back to Europe, though, the brown team did take out France, which I don't believe is too accurate to what WICSO would actually have happened, but the old empire is at war with Tibet, who is, oh, okay, so Tibet must have done something wrong. Basically, Tibet was getting jumped by everybody, and the old empire was like, oh really? Let me get some of this. So unfortunately for the red team, it doesn't look too good for them. But I also saw this. Now, this makes me interested because is Texas invading Mexico? Yes. And apparently Mexico is aligned with the terrorist Mexico organization. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Really confusing stuff happening. Also, the old empire has no friends. Everyone laugh at this loser. I don't know where all their allies went, but they're not there anymore. And India has taken over Tibet. All right. The only good thing about that is that China and India are no longer in an alliance, and it looks like China has rekindled the flame with South China, so they are friends again. Oh, no, Russia and the Farmers Union are back, but the Farmers Union is getting invaded by Rome, and Rome won. The Farmers Union just got invaded and annexed almost completely. Is Rome only strong because it's Rome, or is Rome strong because of the provinces that it has? I'm not too sure if the purple team would be able to take on Prime Russia and Prime Farmers Union. That seems a little bit too crazy. Let's see what's happening over here with the Mexican War. Looks like it's going pretty good for the Northerners, although America randomly has 3 provinces that are sieged by the Mexicans. Tanzania has invaded and completely taken out the gold team. Let's go, Tanzania. Honestly, thank you for doing that. The gold team, you prevented something that was horrific. It was horrible. They started doing really bad things. So honestly, thank you to Tanzania for doing that. That's huge. India is at war with its southern neighbors, more specifically Sri Lanka, who is aligned with the other India, who is appropriately called Indiana. At this point, we've completely abandoned like the series lore. This is going way off tracks. Oh God. I understand like wanting to give your allies a little bit of land in a peace treaty, but I don't understand this. This is horror. Oh God, they even annexed this too. This is downright awful. And Norway is, oh, Norway just took over all of Finland. But yeah, this is what a world map is looking like now. Honestly, not as chaotic as I thought it would. Other than this, and arguably this up here has gotten kind of out of control as well. Oh yeah, no. Okay, so Central Canada is very strong. They're stronger than California? Really? Okay, so Upper Canada is ranked 21. California is ranked 30. America is ranked number 8. Texas, 45? Looks like, oh, okay, that was really quick. Russia just invaded into this country. Ooh, and India and South China are teaming up to invade Vietnam. Or maybe Vietnam is invading India? They've taken over these islands that India has, and the Indian AI has no idea what to do about it. But the main issue for Vietnam, I believe, is this. I can't even look at another corner of the world for 5 seconds without South America exploding. Why is every country at war? Why is Mexico involved? It's just Latin America, I guess. Good God, it's the whole continent minus Ecuador. It's just, even the terrorists are at war. Wait, hold on, I thought they got annexed. Oh, okay, they didn't get annexed, they just became the vassal of America. That makes sense. And yeah, I didn't think that Vietnam had much of a chance. They're ranked at 16, which is pretty good. South China, sorry, they're ranked at 29, India at 8. So Vietnam's a lot stronger than I thought they were, and South China is definitely a lot weaker than they should be, but I still think that India might be a little bit too much for Vietnam to handle, and And I do believe that I am correct in saying that because, yeah, this is some pretty fast invasion. Vietnam does not have any troops. All right, so India, instead of taking land that's really close to them, they decided to take over all of this peninsula, the Malay Peninsula, and then like a bunch of Thailand. Get it? Thailand. What is this? What happened here? Oh God, this is not WICSO. I make sure that this kind of stuff does not happen in my series. Why is this so oh God, it's so bad. Okay, we're just coming over here. Canada's fighting again. All right, you know what? We're gonna skip ahead. That didn't take long. Okay, so Russia is at war with the Unholy Alliance. Now this actually makes sense because they're at war with Rome, who they have beef with previously, and Rome is, as we know, allied with the African Union. But it does look like that Kazakhstan and the green team are trying to get their lick back on Russia. But let's see if Russia is going to lose this war. This is a pretty strong alliance they're fighting up against, or not. They just made the pink team disappear. All right, that's fun. Let's take one last good look at the power rankings. So the old empire is still number 1. Apparently they only have 36 million people living in it. Not too sure if that's true, but Rome is number 2, stronger than Russia. Don't know if I agree with that. We have the Dutch at 3, we have Russia at 4, we have Russia's puppet state at 5. That I don't understand that. China at 6, India 7, Brazil 8, Tanzania at 9. How? America at 10, Australia at 11, and then so on and so forth. All right. Ooh, okay, so Russia and Norway are at war. Oh my God. Wait, never mind, they're gone. But I think for the end of this video, we're just gonna sit here with speed all the way up, and we're gonna see exactly if any major events can happen. There's been a few in this video, but in my opinion, it's been kind of underwhelming. And by that, okay, so African Union just happened. That's fun. But by that, I mean, I was kind of expecting the old empire to kind of go berserk. But surprisingly enough, the old empire has been very docile. So I want to see if they are going to do anything. Like, other than invade Afghanistan, that's really about it. I was kind of hyping them up, hoping that they would be kind of a big player here, but I guess not. They're just chilling in their capital city. Yeah, I don't blame them. You might be number 1. Oh, they're not number 1. The Dutch have overtaken the old empire. That's terrifying. Okay, Central Canada is becoming so strong. South America has now just come down to 3 countries. Brazil, Southern Argentina, somehow they've managed to survive, and then like I guess middle Argentina. We're gonna have a little bit of a power struggle in Europe pretty soon, if not already. Rome and the brown team are gonna have some issues, and then I think Russia and the old empire or not. I was gonna say I think Russia and the old empire are on a collision course, but maybe China has vetoed that. Tanzania is huge, really big, like the biggest country in the world probably. That's insane. How did they do that? Yeah. Okay, I think the simulation. Oh God, what is happening? I believe that we are witnessing the simulation breaking. What? Oh God, what is happening to Canada? Oh, I gotta go see a doctor about that, homie. That's not good. Oh, the Farmers Union is back, and so is Poland. So I guess the Romans got their butts kicked in a war. Rome has taken that thing right back, and Russia took the rest. So I'm sorry about that, Farmers Union. That's really unfortunate. But that is gonna do it for today's video. I've been recording for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it's like 4:10 in the morning. I am tired. I gotta get up a little bit earlier tomorrow, so I'm gonna end the video here. This was super fun, a very interesting scenario, and obviously there is a ton more stuff that we can do with this outside of just simulating world maps. We can actually play this game and play as these individual countries and make our own WICSO future. So if you guys do want to see more of WICSO in Age of History 3, let me know in the comments. If you guys want to see more Age of History 3 in general, not just this custom scenario, but all the other scenarios, let me know in the comments as well. Your guys' input and feedback is super duper important. I do want to really emphasize that, especially on this channel, which is so driven by your guys' ideas. You guys are very smart people, and you come up with very good ideas. So I would encourage you, even if you haven't before, to leave your suggestion in the comment of this video, because there's a pretty good chance that it can be used. And yeah, so once again, feedback. Let me hear your guys' feedback. Let me hear your guys' reviews, you know, just let me know in the comments. I read the comments on pretty much every video that I post, so if you think that I won't see your comment, there's a good chance that I actually have. China is becoming huge. And then of course, also make sure to show some other support on the channel. Of course, leaving your comment, that is a lot of support, but there's also other ways like liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you're new, sharing the video with someone you might think would also like the video, so on and so forth. We are once again trying to get to 200,000 subscribers by the end of this summer. If we get there sooner, that's also preferable, so soon. Also, make sure you guys go check out the summer update video that I posted last Monday. It's a pretty important video that has our channel schedule for the summer. I also talk about some other things that I'm going to be doing soon. The Old Empire just did something. Hold on. They annexed their puppet state. And actually, yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. So yeah, check out that video if you haven't already. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. And of course, thank you to all our super fans. This includes CTG on YT, WICSO, Euroball, Serminator, Augusto, King Cheese, A Norwegian, RS, Gail Martinez, Australian Geo Guy, America and Canada and UK, Zaylance, Lazo Does Nothing, Freezioi, Laser Taze, Nevada Garbage Trucks, Pablo Sigma Cat, Death Strider X, Hammer Toad 45, and DW Cool Dude. Once again, thank you guys.